Hello, my name is Clint Harden. Welcome to Module 8. The topic for this module is male Foley catheter insertion. I wanted to make sure to list my email right here. So if you have any questions during this module during the week, please feel free to email me. I'll help you troubleshoot anything or get through whatever you need to or just answer any general questions. Let's go through this module step by step. If you look over here to the left, you can see the major tabs to click on under the table of contents. If we click on the overview and objectives, you'll see that this module contains 3 learning activities and 2 quizzes. What I would like for you to take away from this module is here under the objectives, just want you to be able to identify the purpose, indications, contraindications, and review some of the nursing considerations for insertion of a male Foley catheter. And then one of the other big takeaways here is to be able to list the proper sequence of steps for inserting a male Foley catheter. Let's look at some of the learning activities. This is the real meat of the module here. They're listed out here as learning activity 1, learning activity 2, and learning activity 3, and all you have to do is click on the links to take you to each one. The first is a slideshow lecture with a video much as similar to what you're watching now with me going through the slideshow. If you don't prefer the video and you need or prefer to have some captioning, you can click on this link and it will take you to the exact same slideshow with captioning of what I was saying on the video beneath each slide. The second learning activity is a YouTube tutorial. This will just take you to a YouTube video of a guy demonstrating proper insertion of a male Foley catheter. Just make sure that you only watch the first 13 minutes of the video. After that, it goes into the removal of a catheter, and that's not part of this module's topics. Also, if you need or prefer the captioning for this video, it's provided for you through this link right here. I want to mention go through the third learning activity with you for just a moment. This was something that I had to create on my own, and I was not able to use much assistance with this, which I found kind of difficult for this project. But it's a drag and drop practice activity that goes through the steps for inserting a male Foley catheter. I use Google Draw for this. And I wanted to originally use this as an assessment method, but just given the difficulties of getting it created or having it created, I decided to use it more as a practice activity so that no one was held accountable for this. But if you click here, it will take you to a place where it's going to ask you, do you want to make a copy of the document? You want to say yes, and this will allow you to create your own copy of the document so you can play with it, you can save it, you can store it for later. I'm going to go into it here and just show you what it looks like, maybe. Alright, so here you see the activity. All you have to do is click each image here and drag over to the appropriate step wherever you feel like this image should be dropped. And you can play with this as many times as you need to. Move down to another picture and drag it over to wherever you want. The only thing I want to caution is that every feature on here, every line, every box, every word is a live item. So everything is movable. If you click on the lines, they'll move. If you click on the words, they'll move. So just be very careful. This was some of the difficulties that I ran into making this. I would only click on the first image. If you notice, there's a second image behind the first. And if you start dragging stuff around too much, it will get everything out of whack. So just play with the first image and drag and drop, play, have fun. Once you're finished playing in here, you can go back to the module, and you can check yourself with the answer key, and it should open up here for you. I won't leave this open too long, but this will show you what the correct answers are. The only other thing that I want to mention with this before I move on, when you click on the drag and drop, it may ask you to enter in an email before you can proceed to it. If you can use any email, I've tried this on a couple of computers with a couple different people. So a Yahoo account, our UNCW email accounts, and a Gmail all works. So if you have any troubles with this, don't hesitate to email me. If you have too much troubles with this, you can always just study the answer key, and it should get you where you need to go with the assessment. Moving on, if you go back to the table of contents, if you click on the assessment tab, this just gives you a brief overview of the two assessments for this module. There's two quizzes, a multiple choice and true-false quiz, and then there's one that's going to test your ability to correctly sequence and place the steps in the proper order for the male Foley catheter insertion. I've placed a little note here that says both quizzes allow for 2 attempts. The highest grade is taken as the final score. Both quizzes would be due at the end of this module's week, which I'm assuming is Sunday, December the 3rd by 11:30 p.m. If you move on down the table of contents, you can launch the first quiz here. It's 10 questions. Each question is worth 10 points for a total of 100 points. And again, the highest grade of the two would be taken. Quiz 2 is the quiz that's going to test your ability to correctly sequence the steps for inserting a catheter. And this quiz has 7 parts. If you noticed on the drag and drop activity, there's 7 steps. So everything should mesh and match up pretty nicely from the learning activities to the quiz here. Again, this allows for 2 attempts. The highest grade of the 2 will count. And notice this is technically just one big question that has 7 parts. So to receive the full 100 points, you have to correctly sequence all 7 parts. Thanks for watching the introduction video. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to email me. I'll be checking mine hopefully a couple of times a day while folks are going through this. And good luck. Have fun. Thanks.